Welcome and thank you for joining me today. My name is Gary Newbury. I'm a senior executive on call helping businesses in the make, move, sell flow of consumer goods and services. My purpose is to inspire business leaders, particularly those within the consumer products and retailing space, to think big, be bold, scale, adapt and win, one epic supply chain transformation at a time. There's additional content available through my website, RetailAID.ca, or on my YouTube channel, RetailAID. Be sure to check it out. As the business world faces much volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, organizations need to be tapping into resources with an inside edge on transitioning their teams to be agile, innovative and digital, with thought leaders, experts and senior executives who have mastery of operational turnarounds and strategic transformations to help reorientate their enterprises. There's great material to get through here, so let's get started. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to dive straight in by asking, what does being innovative mean in the context of end-to-end retail supply chains and the last mile? Here I'm going to be discussing innovation as it applies to the elements of fulfillment and network design. The traditional approach has been to design and implement large, optimized conventional warehouses with high resource requirements, including put away, selection and loading, targeted on maximizing a truck fill based on either cube or weight. This is very much a sweat the asset mindset with a focus on cost per case, removing capacity and capabilities in preference for lowering costs. In designing such DC networks for short to medium term requirements, the natural conclusion is network design assumes a risk-free solution. Nothing to see here. The daily routine works great if everything is stable, but generates very little resilience beyond throwing on extra shifts as a way of managing a significant demand change or mixed variability. In other words, this strategy achieves success by doing more of an inappropriate solution. Now here's a headline. For decades, retail supply chains have been refining their overall cost efficiency of moving cases from products in point A, like a manufacturer, to point B, which might be a DC. However, over the last 25 years, the growth of e-commerce has created an asynchronous need for a more complex singles item supply chain. Besides retailers needing to adapt rapidly to the shifting consumer shopping preferences, a trend that accelerated during the pandemic, the challenge to retailers is that big brands can go direct, cutting out the middleman by selling through marketplaces or websites, traditional retail or wholesale channels. This has spurred the development of many innovations, all aiming to find methods to provide excellent service, which includes consistency and convenience, at a lower cost than a traditional retail supply chain. However, it is not about miniaturizing the case-driven supply chain. Rather, it is rethinking where we are as a retail supply chain participant and creating new methods of fulfillment and last mile operations. However, there is another headline. Single items were shipped all over North America, particularly to suburban and rural areas, under mail order shopping. This is not a nascent problem, and alongside the challenges faced in the past, and more sophisticated consumers raising their concerns about environmental impacts as they observe increasing number of packages being delivered to residential addresses. So what is being innovative within the scope of end-to-end retail supply chains and the last mile? Well, I think step one is adopting a continuous innovative mindset. What this means is understanding customer patterns and how they are constantly evolving, ensuring the organization is positioned to win their business. This involves rapidly unlearning old practices which are no longer relevant, just as quickly as seeking to learn and master new network strategies and fulfillment approaches. Step two, build and invest in end-to-end fulfillment capacities and capabilities, which can be adapted for emerging consumer trends and volumes. Much like discussed within the Being Agile module, Here, businesses need to adopt significantly more collaborative and transparent working relationships. In simple terms, two eyes are better than one. Step 3, create and integrate systems which link capabilities to customer experiences to help reinforce loyalty, engagement, and increase lifetime value. So this is a magnificent shopping list of great concepts and aspirations. However, let's take an example. Let's take this conversation in a different direction to drones, e-cycles and airship warehouses. I want to share that innovation is simply reframing an existing problem to find a pragmatic solution that advances the organization's goals, which typically means more alignment to target customer segments. In a recent piece of work within a retail supply chain, I was tasked to solve increasing incidents of small deliveries being experienced. The client handed me their preferred truck spec, their current routing process, their fulfillment processes, and suggested just finish it off. So I analysed 6 months of deliveries to establish what a small delivery really was and created 3 optimal vehicle designs for Canada. I revamped the selection and loading methods and did trials across Canada. It became patently obvious as I started the trials that we've not approached this problem correctly and showed that with a different approach using larger trucks, 48 footers and maybe a 2-person crew, focusing on unconstrained routing, the operation could be used to better mirror customer demand and be a sales driver to win business from regional players. Approaching what seems to be an intransigent problem with a fresh mindset, unencumbered by how we do things today, we can create those winning solutions for tomorrow. As a closing thought, being agile, innovative, and digital is a collective approach to resolving many end-to-end retail supply chain and last mile challenges. We face accelerating disruption, demand and supply shocks, climate change, geopolitical challenges, and importantly, ever-evolving consumer trends. These challenges require creativity, a strong immutable purpose, our why, a roadmap to spectacular success, a clear and conspicuous strategy with stakeholder ownership, executional excellence, and humbleness which permits fast learning, application, and rapid change management. The future is in front of us. We can embrace it, lead it, and win, or we can let it happen to us. You have to decide what type of future you want it to be. Thank you for listening today. I hope the information has been valuable for you and your team. You can connect with me via the website retail.ca and go to the contact page, or via LinkedIn by typing linkedin.com/in/last-mile. Look forward to hearing from you and playing an active part with your supply chain and your business's transformation as you start to act boldly, think big, scale, adapt, and win.